Hello and welcome here to Jasmine on almost a perfect day for cricket weather-wise here. On this Monday, the second day of this Unicorn Minor Counties Championship match between Northumberland and Cumberland. Matthew Erskine speaking to you for Cricket West Tyne on Speaker Online Radio. Cumbria 2 for no wicket in their first innings in reply to Northumberland's 258 all out. So there's just 6 completed overs being bowled in the Cumbria innings so far, and it's Zalem and Sample at the crease, and it's Arshad bowling from the top end. As the light is almost perfect, just a slight breeze today, nothing like yesterday. It was more or less murky for most of the day, but we did have some sunshine as well, but it's almost perfect this morning. But here's Arshad now bowling to Zalem with 2 slips and a gully. Bowls short this time, and Zalem just plays that one from the crease out into the offside where it's picked up quickly, and there's no run. So we've got 2 slips in there, a gully, a point quite close in, an extra cover, a mid off, a mid on, and a deep square leg, I think it is. That's Colin McCabe across to the left hand side there, and a fine leg just down beside us here. So here we go. Here's Arshad again now, bowls to Zalem, and that one got some lift from a good length, and Zalem was half forward there, and he kept his hands and the bat down, and that's the end of the over. Still 2 for no wicket Cumbria in reply to 258 from Northumberland. So to bring you up to date, overnight Northumberland were 190 for 7 with Simpson 76 not out and Peyton 22, and apart from the 3 wickets going this morning, they were about the only things that went right for Cumbria. The captain Jack Dutoit, he put on his 2 opening bowlers. It was Siddle and Slack who started, and they didn't get it quite right, although Slack took the wicket of Peyton. But the new over about to start here, Tyndall to Sample this time, who just defends that one into the leg side, and there's no run. So yes, it was the 3 wickets were about the only thing that went right. And Simpson, the story of the morning so far, after our early start at 10:30, is that Simpson went to his 100, and it was an excellent achievement and a brilliant innings from him. He played defensively when he had to, but it was a really good attacking innings. But Tyndall again now to Sample, who lets this one by to the wicketkeeper Peyton up there, and there's no run. And if you just bear with us just a moment, this is the moment when Simpson got his 100. Forward square leg, and here's the next one now. Here's Simpson, who hits it high, and that might be gone. He's hit a 6 for 100. 6 for 100. Tyndall there bowls outside the off stump, and Sample just lets it go through to the wicketkeeper. Yes, that was the moment Alexander Simpson went to 100 for Northumberland earlier today. So we've been playing for about just over an hour and a half now here at Jasmine. We've lost the sun just a little bit more cloud. It's still high enough though. Not a lot of rain forecast about, but here's Tyndall now over the wicket bowling to Sample, and he didn't get that one quite right. He looked as if he was turning away to let that one go through, and realised it was coming straight at him, and managed to get the bat straight, and he managed to get it in the middle and play it with some sort of soft hands there. And fortunately for him, it went down to the ground. But for Tyndall, we've got 3 slips at the top end. We've got Thompson in at first, Arshad at second, the captain Cant at third. We've got a gully in there as well as a point, and a mid-off, a mid-on, and a square leg. Tyndall in again now to Sample, who again doesn't offer a shot to this one, and it goes through to Peyton, the wicketkeeper, and there's no run. So still 2 for no wicket here. We've been at this score for quite a while now, maybe 15 or 20 minutes. It's been a good opening start here for these pair of bowlers, Arshad bowling from the top end and Tyndall who's bowling from this bottom end. Sample on strike, 23 average so far from his 8 innings for Cumbria this year, but here he goes now, holding his bat high. Bouncer from Tyndall this time, and causes not just a little problem there for Sample as he has to duck underneath it, and he lets it go through, and Peyton takes it about just below his waist there, and there's no run. So that's the end of the over there, and it's 2 for no wicket Cumbria. Northumberland 258 in their first innings. Simpson was last man out just to complete that innings. When we get a chance, we'll bring you the full scorecard of the Northumberland innings, perhaps after the next over, but it's going to be Arshad to continue from the top end, and he's running in now, quite a long run. We've got 2 slips of gully and a point, and it's Zalim this time facing the right-hander who just defends that one out, and it's fielded in at extra cover there, and there's no run. So we've got a minimum of 76 overs left in the day. We lost 3 for the change of innings. We've made up half an hour last night and half an hour this morning, so we're still, with yesterday's delay in play, still an hour and 50 minutes behind, if my calculations are right, as in comes Arshad again, and that one's just turned round for a single by Zalim up to Tyndall here at fine leg, and the score moves along to 3 for no wicket now, and that's the first time the scoreboard, the scorers have moved the scoreboard along for quite a while now. Just up in the top corner there, you can see the 2 little windows. But it's all changed here because Sample's on the strike and he's a left-hander, if you remember rightly. And we're down behind the 3rd man boundary, just slightly above pitch level, down in our little black box here at Jesmond today. But here we go now. Here's Sample facing up to Arshad, who bowls short into the body, and he just smothers that down from about waist height into the leg side, and it's McCabe who trots in there and picks that one up, and there's no run. So we've got 2 slips, Thompson and Cant. We've got a gully there as well. We've got a Simpson there at point. Got an extra cover, a mid-off, that's Hanley. McGee at mid-on, and McCabe just at forward square leg. Looks as if he's having a little chat to the umpire at the minute, but here's Arshad again now in the bright sunshine, now runs into bowl, and a play and a miss. That squared the batsman up a bit, and he just got good bounce from a good length there did Arshad, and Sample just squared up and presented the bat to it, but it came through to Peyton, the wicketkeeper, and there's no run. 3 for no wicket. 8 overs completed in the Cumbria first innings so far. So here we go now. Here's Sample again, just settles himself. The 2 slips go down, as does the gully, as in comes Arshad again and bowls. Just back of a length outside the off stump. No shot offered there from Sample, and it goes through to Peyton again. And Simpson's innings, well, it was a complete turnaround, because when Northumberland were 123 for 7, it looked like they might all have gone last night, but Simpson and Peyton it was who pulled the innings round there, and it's one of the best rearguard innings I think I've seen. But there's the next one, and he's caught, he's out, it's Sample. Arshad bowls it there, it was quite full, he tried to chip it off perhaps middling leg, and it's McCabe in its square leg there who's caught it, so the first wicket goes down here, and it's 3 for 1 Cumbria in reply on first innings. 3 for 1, and it's Sample who's gone for a duck, and it's been coming. We've had 8 completed overs, as I said now, and hardly a ball has left the square, but the Northumberland fielders all gather round there. The drinks are on now. Peyton's taking a swig there. It looked quite uncomfortable there, trying to hold the bottle with his wicketkeeper's gloves on. But there we go. The first wicket down in the Cumbria innings here. Sample gone. And it's the end of the over as well. So Arshad gets a wicket with the last ball of the over there. And the new batsman in, it's Slack, who's come in to bowl. Is it? No, we haven't got him up yet. I don't know if it's Slack at the moment, but we'll just wait till we get the number up on the scoreboard. I'll have a look through the binoculars here. See if I can recognise him from this distance with his hard hat on there. But it's going to be Tyndall to take up the fresh over anyway, and he's going to be bowling to Zalem, who's 3 not out at the moment. A too tall a fella, just a very crouched stance, like being a bit of a John Wayne stance with his long hair peeking out the back of his helmet there. But in goes Tyndall, and it's full, and it's driven square, and they run this time, and it's racing up towards the cemetery side boundary across to the left, and it goes for 4. It crosses the rope now. So the first boundary of the innings, and it goes to Zalem there, just a little bit over pitched from Tyndall, and it was dealt with, driven square just to the inside of Simpson there, who's at point, and out it went. So 7 for 1 now, Cumbria, and Zalem has gone to 7 as well, so he's got all the runs so far. Here's Tyndall again, now moves into bowl. Zalem back in his crease there and up on his toes, and just defends that one down from waist height, and it drops onto the leg side, and it's McGee who's in quickly there like a little terrier, picks that one up, and the new batsman in for Cumbria, it's not Slack, it's McGladdery who's in for the visitors, and his shirt sleeves there and his jumper. It looks like he's another left-hander as well, but we'll have a look when we find him here in the book. But it's going to be Tyndall again now. Yes, he's left-handed, McGladdery. Tyndall now bowling to Zalem, who comes forward and just plays and misses that one. And he didn't really move the bat towards it. We'll let him off with that one. Just played down the line and away from the ball there. And it went through to Peyton, the wicketkeeper, and there's no run. Still 7 for 1 wicket here, Cumbria. And here's Tyndall again, Sean Tyndall. Charges up now, bowling to Zalem, and that one keeps low a bit from a good length, and Zalem's equal to it, just turns his body, turns outwards to play that one, and it scoots off the face, slides off the face out there to point, and it's picked up, and there's no run. So we're down behind the long off boundary here. Hanley is at mid off. He's just forward of us and slightly to the right there. And there's plenty of spectators along the Osborne Terrace side of the ground at the moment. As Tyndall's in now to Zalem, who's forward, and again the ball comes off the face of the bat and slides out behind square, and it's Simpson in the gully there who picks that one up, wide gully, and there's no run, and it's all just quiet contemplation out there at the moment. Not much chatter going on with the spectators. We've got our usual crowd in front of the pavilion to our left here, as in goes Tyndall again now to Zalem, and he gets some bounce off a good length this time, and Zalem equal to it, plays it from waist height down into the ground on the offside, and it's fielded in at backward point there, and there's no run, and that's the end of Tyndall's over. So if we go now and we'll have a look at the scorecard and see if we can bring you the scorecard for Northumberland, as long as we don't have our technical difficulties. So the full scorecard here for Northumberland: Thompson, he went for 10, caught Zalem, bowled Siddle. Hewison caught Howarth, bowled Watkinson 7. Brown caught Dutoit, bowled Slack 28. Kant caught Howarth, bowled Slack 24. Usman Arshad caught Slack, bowled Stables 1. Simpson caught Watkinson, bowled Hodgson 121. As Arshad starts the new over and bowls to McGladdery, who defends this first one out onto the offside, and there's no run. Tyndall caught and bowled Slack 4. McCabe caught Boyne, bowled Watkinson 8. Peyton was caught Siddle, bowled Slack 36, and McGee caught and bowled Dutoit 8, and Hanley was not out 1. There was 10 extras in the total of 258 there, and Siddle 1 for 53 from 14. Stables, Watkinson 2 for 32 from 13, as Arshad bowls to McGladdery again, and gets good bounce and has him pulling the bat out the way as the ball flies through to Peyton there, well above waist height that time, and there's no run. Slack 4 for 55 from 13, so he was the pick of the bowlers for the visitors. Boyne none for 21 from 7. Dutoit 1 for 13 from 7. Semple none for 29 from 5, and Hodgson 1 for 21 from 1 ball short of 2 overs there. As in comes Arshad again now and bowls to McGladdery, who goes forward, and it rather strikes the top of the bat there, and it comes off square, and it's picked up by Simpson in there at point to our left, and there's no run. Still 7 for 1. Zalem 7 not out. McGladdery yet to score, and we've got 2 slips and a gully, a point, an extra cover, a mid-off, a mid-on. There'll be a fine leg across to our right hand side and a square leg as well. But here's Arshad now, short down the leg side, and McGladdery turns to try and hit that one away, but he doesn't get it. He doesn't get anywhere near it, and Peyton takes a nice catch down the leg side there. Takes it cleanly enough, but we've got a bit of thicker cloud coming across from the west at the moment, but the sun still, it's very bright. Not very much haze down at the ground, maybe away in the distance, but we're surrounded by trees and houses here at Jesmond. As in comes Arshad again now, and that's a good ball, and that more than likely pitched and seamed away from the left-hander there. Started it off on the stumps and got good bounce as well, and that's what did the batsman, I think, there. McGladdery just played, and it came through over the shoulder of the bat and through to Peyton, the wicketkeeper, who's there, and he's got the greenest cap of the lot on, I think, out there at the moment, with his shirt tucked in, just standing, taking the weight at the moment. Here's Arshad again now, and he comes and bowls, and McGladdery defends back to the leg side, and there's no run. And that's the end of the over. So there we go. 7 for 1 Cumbria in reply to 258 from Northumberland on first innings here. 11 overs complete now in the Cumbria innings. Second day of this match here at Jesmond, of this 3-day match in the Unicorn Minor Counties Championship. And it's going to be Tyndall again who's going to bowl from our end here. And he's just having a little word to Hanley there at the moment. And he is just at the end of his run now. So it's going to be Zalem with 2 slips and a gully in place. And he goes now over the wicket. Zalem tries to turn one away down the leg side, and it does go down the leg side. He misses it, and it goes through to Peyton, the wicketkeeper. And there's no run. And the Cumbria scorecard up until now. Zalem not out 7. Semple caught McCabe, bowled Arshad for naught, and McGladdery not out, not having yet scored at the moment. and it's Arshad and Tyndall who have opened the bowling here. But in goes Tyndall again now to Zalem, who's back in his crease that time, just defending to the leg side, and it's McGee who covers that ground from quite deep at mid-on there, right into forward short leg to pick that one up. There's no trotting or dawdling about there from McGee as he rallying in his floppy sun hat. He's not wearing it Napoleon style, as I saw one player on Saturday wearing it with the front and back turned up, but he's, what could you say, he's wearing it just as it should be worn, the little fella there. But in goes Tyndall again now to Zalem, and fends that one off his, just in front of his hip there. It rather hit near his gloves, and it went into the leg side, and it's McCabe again who picks up, and there's no run. And here we go now. Arshad just polishes the ball, pops up a little catch to Tyndall there. So here he goes again now, Sean Tyndall. Moves into ball over the wicket to Zalem, who's forward again, and again it's quite a good ball. It was on a length there and just got a little bit of lift, and it whizzed past the outside of the bat there through to Peyton, the wicketkeeper, and there's no run. So it's going to be Tyndall again. Plenty of photographers all lined up behind the bowlers, just either side of the bowler, behind the bowler here. As Tyndall's in again, and it's driven square and they run. It's Zalem who's driven up towards the practice nets there, and he's going to get 4. The ball crosses now and runs away under the covers up there. So that's the second boundary for Zalem, and only the second one of the innings, and they've both gone more or less in the same place through that cover point, backward point area, and it was another, it just seems to be, and he hasn't done it, he's done it virtually no times at all, but just over pitching from Tyndall. Just waits for the ball now. Arshad gives it a good polish. Tyndall, quite tall, lean figure, shirt tucked in, slightly greying hair to his temples as he goes in now and bowls to Zalem, who's forward and doesn't offer a shot that time and lets it go through to the wicketkeeper, and there's no run, and that's the end of the over. 11 for no wicket here, Cumbria, in reply to 258 from Northumberland. Simpson 121. That 8th wicket partnership of 84 from Simpson and Peyton doing the business for Northumberland, and their target now maybe 3 or 4 wickets before lunch, but let's see how it goes at the moment. Sort of in a no man's land of what's going on here. The batsmen, I get the feeling the Cumbria batsmen don't quite know whether to go for it or just bed in here. McGladdery on strike again to Arshad as he comes in to bowl short outside the off stump, and it's shoulders arms there McGladdery, and lets it come through to Peyton. So we've got 3 slips, a gully, a point, an extra cover, a mid off, a mid on, a fine leg, and a straightish mid wicket in line with the scoreboard there. We're down behind, looking here from behind the third man boundary, and here's Arshad again now. His hair flops as he comes in the bowl, and it's McGladdery who just pulls the bat across himself there to get out the way of that one. Another good length ball, plenty of lift, and he's banging it in quite hard here, and it's Arshad who has got the run on the batsman at the moment, but here he comes now. Turns at the end of his run, charges up now to bowl over the wicket to McGladdery, bowls, and that one was even closer, and he's got them on a tee here, and this is a fine spell of bowling here from Arshad. He didn't look too comfortable with the bat in the Northumberland innings. Indeed, he was in and out quite soon, but he's got the run of things here at the moment, bowling from that top end there. And he's about to get the ball off Hanley again, who's deep there at mid-off. And it's Arshad again now, bowling to McGladdery. And another one comes past the edge, and it's so good to see bowling like this. He's just pinning them back here on the crease. No foot movement from the batsman here. And when we talk about all the heavy hitting and the attacking batting now, it's more of a surprise. Not much of a surprise, but a nice surprise to see a fine spell of bowling. But here's Arshad again now over the wicket, comes in and bowls, and he's just gone offline there, and he's just turned it round as McGladdery up towards fine leg, and it'll be fielded now and thrown in, and a leg bye signalled by the umpire there. So the score moves along to 12 for 1 here, Cumbria, in reply to 258 on first innings from Northumberland. So Zalam not out. 11, he's on strike now from this end, which he hasn't been for a long time. So there's been one extra so far in the innings, and Zalam has got the rest of the runs. So let's see how Arshad fares up against the right-hander here, because he hasn't had much chance. He's been bowling at 2 left-handers so far, so we've still got 3 slips, a gully and a point. He's in and bowls full, and it's just jammed through the gap there, up between extra cover and cover point, and it's McGee after it. He gets a sliding stop in, but it's thrown in now, and Zalam gets a couple of runs there. So he comes through to this end, so he goes to 13, and the score goes to 14 for 1. And it will be, that was the end of the over as well. So a very good over there from Arshad. He had McGladdery on the ropes, only them last couple of balls there to Zalam. Well, the last one to Zalam there producing, and he runs off the bat. So he's coming down now to mid-on. So it's going to be Tyndall who's going to bowl over the wicket to the left-handed McGladdery. So we've got 3 slips still and a gully. Tom Cant slowly winding the rope tighter here as Tyndall moves in now. Big swipe at that one from McGladdery, and there's half an appeal, but for caught behind there, but it was never there to drive. It wasn't full enough, and he played a long way from his body. He did get the front foot, his right foot forward, but maybe just moved away off the seam just a little bit there. But here's McGee, pops up a little catch to Tyndall, who's about to bowl again here. Here he goes now, Tyndall to McGladdery, and he isn't tempted by that one outside the off stump this time. Just lets it through to the wicketkeeper. No run. 14 for 1 Cumbria here. Zalam 13. And McGladdery in at number 3. Has yet to score. So 71 overs remaining in the day. A minimum of 71 remaining in the day so far. With a change of innings, we lost 3. So in goes Tyndall again now and bowls, and that one straightens up McGladdery again, and the ball flies past the outside edge through to Peyton, the wicketkeeper, and now that's tempted the slips up there into a bit of support for the bowler. Tom Cant leading the encouragement there, the captain. He's at second slip. We've got Thompson who's up there at first slip. And Gully as well, and the third slip. As in goes Tyndall again now, and that's short, and it's taken down by McGladdery, the left-hander, into the offside. Fielded in it by Simpson there at point, and again there's no run. And I keep thinking I feel spots of rain here, but we're in our little box here. But we've lost the sunshine now. That's all I can say. But this cloud is high enough at the moment, not to produce any danger, but we've got more of a breeze as well here. As in comes Tyndall again to McGladdery, and that was short of a length, and it jumped up and he was bending two there trying to fend that one off his midriff, and McGladdery's glad to get that one over with. He backed off to square leg after he managed to get some sort of bat onto it, so he didn't take it full in the stomach there, but Tyndall it is, back to his mark. Just sets off from next to the pile of sawdust there, in he goes and bowls, and again he beats the outside edge through to the wicketkeeper, and there's no run, and that's the end of the over. And Peyton, the wicketkeeper, just sprints up to this near end to us here to take up his position for the next over to start here, and no doubt it'll be Arshad who takes up the attack again. 14 for 1 Cumbria in reply to the first innings total of 258 from Northumberland, 258 all out, and Simpson with that 121 down the order there. Got the innings back on track for the home side here, but here's Zalem now facing up to Arshad. 3 slips in a gully, short down the leg side, misdirected that time, and it just rather sat up there, and it's Peyton who takes it down low near his ankles there, and he turns and has a little word with Thompson now. It's all smiles in the slips there at the moment. Arshad just gets the ball back off Ollie McGee, who pops up a little catch there. He winds in again now, bowling to Zalem, the right-hander. Zalem drives and, good stop there. No, not quite, half a stop there from McGee at mid-off. And he dived for it. On the inside, the ball going between the stumps and McGee there at mid-off, and he dived to his right as we watch him here. So half stop there. 1 run to the total, and it's 15 for 1 now, and Zalem has gone to 14. As it's Arshad again now to the left-handed McGladdery. In he comes now and bowls, and he's on the back foot driving in the run out between the gap between cover point and extra cover there. Simpson's in pursuit, a nice dive and stop, flicks it back from McCabe. They're coming back, and the throw comes in. 2 bounces into the wicketkeeper's end, the near end to us here, and 3 runs there to McGladdery. So he's got away 3 to get off the mark there. And the score's gone to 100. It's gone to 18 for 1 wicket. Zalem on strike now, 14 not out. And it's McGladdery at the non-striker's end, 3 not out now. So we've got Zalem. There's a man deep, down a deep, just in front of square there to our left. As Arshad bowls short down the leg side, and Zalem tempted by that one, but he doesn't get anything on it, and it comes through to Peyton, the wicketkeeper, and there's no run. And a long throw there up towards McGee, who's at mid-on. Now he's coming round into mid-wicket now, so they're trying to encourage the drive here. Is he going in at short leg? Is he? No. So we've got a change in the field here. And have we got here? I think we've got an 8 and 7-2 field here. I've just worked out there's 4 in the slips now, and a gully and a point for Zalem. And that's on the leg stump, and Zalem just pushes it down for 1 out behind square on the leg side that time. So he goes to 15. The score goes to 19 for 1. So Zalem just makes his way up to the other end, and it's McGladdery on the strike now. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got this 7-2 field. We've got 3 slips, a gully, a point, an extra cover and a mid-off. Arshad round the wicket this time to McGladdery, and he just defends it into the offside, and it's McCabe who moves in quite fast there to pick that one up, and there's no run at the end of the over. So 19 for 1 Cumbria in their first innings here. Still plenty off the total of 258 by Northumberland. 69 overs remaining, the minimum of 69 remaining in the day now, and there's been 15 bowled in this Cumbria innings so far. And it's going to be Tyndall about to bowl again. And he's going to bowl again to 3 slips and a gully and a point, as in he goes now over the wicket, and there's a big back foot drive this time, and again 4 through the same area. So Zalem was onto that one like a flash, and that's the third 4 of his innings, and the third one that's gone through that cover point area out square to our left there. And so it was a little short and wide this time from Tyndall, and that takes the score now to 23, and Zalem has gone to 19, and just given himself a bit of a stretch up there at the moment. So 235 behind on first innings here, Cumbria now. We've got a square leg who's slightly 2/3 of the way back, that's McCabe. We've got a fine leg, and we've got a mid-on, I beg your pardon. We've got a mid-off as well, but 6-3 in favour of the offside now, the field. And there's another one, short and wide again from Tyndall, and Zalem gives it the treatment, cracks it out there to the square boundary on the offside, over by just in front of the practice nets this time, and Simpson spending the last couple of minutes burying his way under them covers to find the ball. But 4 more to the total now, that takes it to 27, and Zalem has gone to 23. He had Zalem 64 in his last innings in the championship against Bedfordshire. That was in the second innings there, so he's had a 72 as well and a 76, but no 100 yet. Could this be the day for him? And it's going to be Tyndall again now, 231 behind now Cumbria. As in goes Tyndall, and Zalem just defends this ball off his hip into the leg side, and there's no run. As he gathers the ball there, just picked up by McGee. And 1 or 2 of the spectators just on their mobile phones, on their smartphones out to the right here. I wonder if they're listening to us. I don't know. But welcome to our, if you've just joined us or you've been with us for quite a while, you're more than welcome to listen in. Our next broadcast today, by the way, will be at 2:30. We've got a couple of 3 minutes left in this one. I think we'll get this over in and the next one. But here's Tyndall again, bowling to Zalem, 3 slips and a gully, short, and not much trouble there for Zalem as he just watches that one sail through the air there, through into the hands of Peyton, and there was no run. McGladdery at the non-striker's end, 3 not out. He's just averaging 13 from his 6 innings, his highest score 24 in the championship games, the Minor Counties Championship games this season. Tyndall again now to Zalem, again short and almost a replica of the last ball there, just leans back, does Zalem, and watches it sail again through the air into the hands of Peyton up there behind the stumps at the far end. Arshad pops up a little catch to Tyndall now. The breeze just about at the same strength it's been for the last 10 or so minutes. A little bit brighter maybe, as in goes Tyndall again now and turns the That one does Zellum off his legs up towards McCabe at the deep square leg boundary, and he gets a single at the end of the over there. So at the end of that one, 28 for 1 now. Zellum 24, McGladdery 3. The man out is Semple, and he went for a duck, caught by McCabe from the bowling of Arshad. So that's the drinks break. So we're not quite going to get another over in here this for this first broadcast, but you can join us again at 2:30. We've just timed that nicely for a drinks break coming up here. So just the one man out for Cumbria in reply to 258. So it's I'll leave you now until 2:30 with Northumberland all out for 258 and Cumbria in reply on first innings 28 for 1. Zellum 24 and McGladdery 3 are the men not out. The man out was Semple and Cumbria still 230 behind here. But until 2:30, I shall speak to you again then. Do come down to Jesmond if you like, if you've got a spare few minutes this afternoon, because it's promising to be an enticing afternoon's cricket at the moment. But until 2:30, I'll speak to you again then. Cumbria 28 for 1.